Okay, so how many times have we heard stories of athletes getting into messy relationships with women that ultimately cost them a lot of money? Sure, this happens a lot more with NBA players for some reason, but that doesn't necessarily mean football players are safe from these type of women. We're talking about young men who suddenly have a bunch of money thrown at them, therefore without proper guidance, a lot of these situations can end up very unfavorably, financially speaking, for these athletes. Case in point, Commander star QB Jayden Daniels has been thrust into the limelight as one of the premier quarterbacks in the league. So with that, you obviously have a ton of women trying to get at him, but that's where his mother, Regina Jackson, steps in. Over the past couple months, Jayden Daniels' mother has gone viral for a few clips that I'm about to show you because she's a mother who knows how women are and is willing to do anything to protect her son. Take a look at these few clips and you'll get what I'm saying.
Now that Jayden is getting ready to take this next big step, what concerns you the most?
Girls. Them girls. Some girl out here, she's got a Jayden Daniels wall, and her mama said, hey, honey, you're going to be the one who's going to go get him. And I know that sounds crazy, but I guarantee there's someone out there who's trying to get their hooks into Jayden Daniels. So thank God he got a mama like me, because it ain't happening.
Y'all gotta check this out, man.
Jayden Daniels. Now, Juju's 19, Jayden is 24. It's when she does the cute little touch of the ear thing and smiles, and then wait for it later. His mom came out and
My face.
Mama, I realize that you have hands. I'm not here. You're doing it.
Mama ain't let nobody in close to JD5.
Okay, so you saw those clips, and honestly, the last one was pretty funny at the basketball game. Jayden's mom was not playing around. Anyways, now watch this clip of Jayden Daniels' mother talking with Ryan Clark on the Pivot podcast about why she protects her son.
I listened to you talk about the things you've done for yourself, but also the way you look at parenting. It just sounds like being a good mama to me. But when things become public and you let the outside world start to pick it apart, they're gonna be able to critique it and break it down and do whatever they want with it. You know, you were very honest about protecting him. You said predators, also protecting him from women who can be predators. And we've seen that all through sports. We see it after their careers. We see it in business. Being the good woman you are, also raising a daughter, why have you been so diligent about protecting Jayden from the wrong woman?
So first and foremost, I have a meme out there, and it's funny. So I can't laugh. I can only laugh about it. But the whole girls comment was made, first of all, 2 years when he was at LSU. It was a question asked, what is your biggest fear? And that should be every parent's biggest fear. That should be, if you're a star athlete and you're a female in WNBA, that should be your biggest fear is, the men or, the women, because you're a public figure. And, your dollar amount is associated with your name. So you never know who really is there for you and who's really against you. And our thing is I want Jayden to date. I don't want everybody to say I'm putting it on record. My son can date. He can live freely, makes his own decisions. However, the relationship we have, he does value my opinion because, when my kids were little, I did a lot for them. And my kids saw that. My father, my background, I worked too hard to allow anybody at any moment to come in and just, take it away. So I have a view of what I feel a good person is. And, but my son is 24 and he does have to go through things and he has to learn on his own. And, he's a great kid and I'm thankful for him. He's, not like some of these other guys, he's really to himself. He's a homebody. He just loves sports, he really is. So I'm trying to work on his afterlife after sports because at some point it does end. And I don't want him to just be now what do I do? So I want to keep him involved in the world and, have opened up a lot of doors. I'm in charge of his foundations. We're trying to build facilities and, back in his hometown that are going to help the youth and things like that. So that's what I'm in charge of on top of his everyday business dealings and, like I said, dealing with creative teams. I'm dealing with the creative side. I'm doing the storybooks and how we're positioning him and, all this other stuff. So it's not just about you guys seeing me out and thinking we're just hanging, party.
Hold up, limitless, take a stomach, pinning it. I fought the head to witness it.
Okay, so that's what Regina Jackson had to say, and in all honesty, I wish more players had mothers like her. Too many times we've seen these athletes get into messy relationships that just doesn't end well for them. I can't count the number of times we've seen athletes lose hundreds of thousands of dollars or half their net worth through an ugly divorce. It just goes to show you how important it is to have the right people in your circle.